on the road. After a couple of days skiing, oh man, am I out of shape. Muscles I didn't know I had were aching. Yeah, it was a good stretch, but I had more issues when I got down to 3 degrees, and I can't blame this issue on Winnebago. This is a owner-operator issue. But my pipes froze in the back again. My water pump froze, and now it's dead. I got to replace that. Wait a minute, let me let this truck go by. There we go. So what happens is with these Revels, when you go on a trip, especially in the winter, when you go on a trip, you throw all your gear back there. Well, in design, when Winnebago's figured out their engineering for the heat, supposedly to keep stuff from freezing in the winter, they have these vents on the covers. So the heat from the cabin, oozes in through these vents into these back compartments where you have your battery, and then on the other side you have your water and all your lines and all that. Well, when you go on a trip, you got all your garbage back there. You got your bikes, you got your duffel bags, you got your skiing equipment. So a lot of that air isn't being circulated into those back compartments because all the vents are covered. So that's what happened. I had to heat up. I thought things were working good until the next morning. And I don't think I burst a pipe because I don't have water dripping like I did last time when I had a fitting. Ice must get in there and opened up the fitting a little bit, and it started, oozing. I don't think I have that problem. The problem was the little compartment where the water pump and the filter is. That developed ice, and that's what created the problem. So I need now. So I'm heading back home. The other problem is, this is like January 10th, and I don't know when you're going to see this video, but the country's under a winter Armageddon. Friggin' weather. I'm in between storm 1 and 2. There's 3 storms hitting California and coming across the country, and they're pretty bad. So I made it to the mountain in storm 1. You saw that video. That was the weakest of the 3. And storm number 2 is hitting that area now, and they are getting slammed with high winds, blizzard conditions, deep snow, cold. The south is getting tornadoes, heavy rain all through Texas and Arkansas. And so when I saw that coming across, I decided that's it, I'm taking a break. So I'm beelining it back to my home base. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do back there to eliminate that problem once and for all. And I'm going to let this winter Armageddon blow itself out. Probably take another week. Because storm number 3 is going to be really bad. That's coming in 4 days, I guess, 4 or 5 days. That one's going to raise a lot of problems across the country. So I'd rather be in my home base. I don't want to be in the mountains somewhere or in the desert. The desert, they're going to have flash floods. All those people, they better not be near a wash. Places that never get snow or getting snow. So those people don't know how to drive, and I don't want to be on the road with them. No. So that's the latest. When I get to the home base, I'll show you what I'm going to do. But I stopped at a Walmart, I don't know, somewhere in, I don't know where I was, northern Texas, somewhere up in there, maybe just coming out of New Mexico. And I got an electric heater. It has I got it at Walmart, $15. But I just wanted something back there. So we wouldn't have any, I wouldn't create more damage. So I got this little heater. It's got 3 settings, 600 watt, 900 watt, and 1600 watts. My inverter is 2000 watts, so I'm covered there. And the other night, not last night, the night before, I had it on setting 2, 600 watts. And with the Lithionics app that I have that monitors the batteries, whatever drawer on the power that you're using when you have the app on, at the very bottom it tells you how many days you can withstand that draw before the battery goes dead. So I turned the heater on. I had some lights on, and I have to, and it's 110, so I had to turn the inverter on. And at those settings, at 600 with the electric heater, man, that thing pushes some heat too. It's got an electric fan on it, so it pushes it. I had that on the floor. I did not turn on the diesel heater. I had it set at 78. This little has a little dial on it. And at the bottom it said I could run that for a little under 8 hours, like 7 hours on 45 minutes. So I'm thinking, oh, okay, I don't usually sleep that long at night. So I usually get 5 to 6 hours sleep. So I put it on, I went to bed. The next morning I got up, and oh yeah, my batteries were down to like 13%, but it said I had 2 hours left. So that worked out good. I was able to have the electric heat, and it was warm in here too. It worked out. Just for the heck of it, before that night's sleep, I cranked it up to 1600 watt setting, which is high. And that gave me like 3.5 hours or 3 3/4 hours to run that electric heater full blast. So that's okay, like for an afternoon or in the evening, and I want to get a burst of heat in, I'll just turn the thing right up. That's running off the battery. So I'm happy with that little electric heater. I'm going to leave it in the van as backup heat. So I have 3 sources of heat. I got the cab, I have the diesel heater, the ESPA, and now I have my electric heater, as long as I have enough battery power. Or I can start the vehicle, get heat in the cab, and also have that in the rear pumping heat, because the alternator can take care of running the 110 back there. So I'm all for multi-function, and backup. That's coming from my backpacking life. You gotta have multiple uses for things, and you should have backup on your critical items that are going to sustain you. So now I got to figure out this water problem. I had backup with the water. Luckily, I have my jugs with my hand pump, so I had 12 gallons of fresh water there. So I wasn't out of water. It's just that I couldn't use the sink. And if I wanted hot water to wash up, I had to either put it in the microwave, heat up a couple of cups of water, or use my coffee pot without coffee in it and just heat up the water that way. I mean, it kind of worked. It was a pain in the ass, but so that's where I'm at. So that's what this video is about: how to get heat in the very rare near the doors. Man, as it get cold back at those rear doors, especially if you have all your gear back there. So this is a life learned van experience. Hopefully I'll figure this out, pass it on to you, and then you can do, you can do it. For the easiest is just get an electric heater at Walmart, 15 bucks. I'll show you the box in there. I'll put a picture in here, and you'll see it. I don't have links to all this stuff, but you know, I told you where to get it. So, all right. There's just always something, always something. So I'm going back in about a week once this weather settles down, and you know, I'm going back. I'm gonna go back skiing, and I really enjoyed that. And I'm gonna go back to Quartzsite. I want to go back. I want to go to the what do they call it? The rendezvous RV meetup. That's in Quartzsite, and then the following week is the big RV show. I just want to go and see, you know, all the new gadgets and what's new coming out. It's hard to believe that I'm still happy with the Revel. I don't know. I guess with any RV, you're going to have issues. Like I said in many videos back, I've had a lot of RVs over my life, and I've had issues with every one of them. So I guess, you know, when you get an RV, that's just part of it. You just, you know, try to live through it, try to deal with it, try to do as much as you can yourself. All right, I will talk to you later. It's a rainy day in Florida. This is the precursor to storm number 2, which is, I think, going to hit. We're going to get the tail end of it, but we have tornadoes coming, high winds. I'm only 2.5 hours from my home base, so I should be able to hunker down there before this hits. All right, later. Yeah, you saw it right, a hose. Oh, yeah. Got the van torn apart again. I'm back in Florida fixing our water leaks. I'm going to put heat in here. I have a little electric heater with a fan coming. It'll be here tomorrow. But right now I have to fix this, because what happened was when I was skiing, there's no heat in this area right here. The only heat is coming from there. But I have that bench seat here loaded with stuff. And there's no way that the heat can get in this cavity. And there was no insulation in here at all. As you can see, I packed this whole back tube here now with insulation. And what happened was, this here filter on the SureFlow strainer froze and just blew apart. So I don't know where the water went. It must have been when I was on, I don't know. I always looked for water behind the van to see if I was developing a leak. But you can see I have a new one in there now. But you can see it right here. It was way down low. So hopefully that's the only issue I have. That let go before anything else. So I just reinstalled this spaghetti mess of piping here. I got it hooked up. I got my settings set. I'm just going to fill the tank right to about here just to see if there's any leaks in this area. And then I'll go from there. So let me go connect this hose and see if we have any other issues. Okay, so I think I fixed the leak. Oh jeez, everything is falling. So I think I fixed the leak. It's been on for like an hour now, no drops anywhere. I've used the water pump, and all right, so that looks good. So what I've done is I've ran 2 electrical lines, one from the sink area and one down below behind this heater. So this is the heater wire right here. I'll explain later. And then this here is the wire that's hooked up to the water pump. I suspect that this little thing right there is bad. But I never liked using this anyway. It just never worked out right. So I tapped into it, and the power going to the pump, I put a switch on it at the other end, so now that wire comes along here, goes along, and I put it in this black sheathing here. It goes along here. There's a nice opening here where you can shove wires and piping through. And then what it does is it comes up here. So I'm going to have another switch over here, just like that one, that will run the water. It will have a little light on it. But for now, because I can only get this thing and within one day, I had to get the black one. But when I come back from my next trip, I will order the one that has a little LED light on here. So when the water pump is on, the switch, not the switch, but the switch for the water pump it'll have a little LED on it. Okay, but yeah, this is all work now. If I just touch these two, listen. Oh no, we got pressure on here, so let me just drain that a little bit. Okay, so now you just flip the switch here. Pump came on, so this is just until my switch comes in, and then I'll put a switch on here. But I'm pre-wiring everything now, making sure with a test light everything's working. So now with this here electrical wire, this is going to go to a 100 amp electric heater with a fan it's going to heat this whole cavity right here where all these lines are back here, and that's going to eliminate any freezing, because if the heat's on if the heat's on here in the living area, it's going to automatically come on here because I tapped into it. I'll show you in a minute. But this is the other end of it, and I'll just run this here, and then I will mount that little heater that's due here tomorrow, I think. So I'll just mount that on the wall back here, and it will just blow nice warm air in here. So that will eliminate that problem. Let me back up here and show you how I did that. So this here, go this way. Here's that heater right here, and here are the wires that supply the fan. And what I did is I just tapped into it with these wire taps. I'm gonna put black electrical tape around here, but I just tested that end out right there with my test light. And I turned the heat on. This fan came on, and that lit up. So that means this connection is good. So yeah, it was pretty easy to snake that. I just snaked the wire through here, came out in the backside, and like I said, I just put it in that black conduit, and I just ran them up there. You don't want to have bare wires, because in time when you go on washboard roads, I didn't want that wire bouncing and rubbing up against the support for the water tank here. You'd end up grounding out, and that'd be another issue. So I can put all this back together now, except for that end there. I gotta wait for the electric heater to come in. And but all my connections are done. The leaks are fixed. And then I'll have a switch right here at the sink, which is going to work out way better than having these remote switches everywhere. They're just a pain in the ass. I don't know why they can't make things a little simpler. So anyway, that's what I'm doing here. Let me put all, kind of put some of the stuff back together, and I'm going to call it quits for today. And then when that heater comes in tomorrow, I'll wire it up, show you how I installed it, and I'll show you how it works. It's going to be awesome. And then I ordered 2 of them. So I'm going to have, let me flip this. So I'm going to have a wire. I may tap into that same harness here, and I'm going to run a wire. I'm going to take that edge cap off, and I'm going to run a wire underneath that edge cap, and I'm going to put another electric heater in the battery compartment over here to keep that battery compartment warm, so I don't have an issue with my battery shutting down if it goes below 32. Because if it goes below 32, you can't recharge your batteries. So I haven't had an issue with that yet, but I'm just, while I have everything open, even if I don't hook it up at this end, I'm going to install a little 100 amp heater, and I'm gonna run the wire underneath, and I'll just have the wire come up over here, and maybe just put it on a switch, and when it gets down around 0, or if it gets, you know, really cold, I can just flip the switch on and run the heat in the battery bank area. Or I may just tap, yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I'll figure it out. I may just run it, just tap into the main harness with a switch right over here, and just turn it on occasionally when I need it, and then shut it off. I can do that too instead of tapping in, because I don't know how heavy the gauge is for this electric. I know I can take 100 amps off of that. That won't be an issue, but to have another 100 amp heater coming off that main line that's just supposed to be supporting this electric heater and fan, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if it's heavy enough. I'll have to do a little more investigating. I'll let you know what I find out. Okay, so anyway, it's another little project for you if you want, but this is preventative. I would definitely do this. If you never put any storage in here and you're on a trip, and you don't have a bench back here that's blocking this heater right here, even though my bench is 3 inches off, the heat has to come out the opening and run down. And I had all my Tupperware boxes here, my snowboard here, my boots and everything. The heat never gets around into that cavity. So, you know, if it's 0 outside, it's going to be cold in that cavity, and that's exactly what happened. My strainer froze and just blew apart on me. Must have been when I was going down the highway, because I didn't see any water wherever I was camped at night. The next morning I would look underneath the van and I didn't see any water. But I wasn't using the water either, so I don't know. Not sure when it happened, but it happened. This tank was full and it was empty at the ski slope. So, all right, I'll get back to you when that heater comes in. All right, later. I'll get my finger out of there. Okay, we're packed and ready to hit the road. Round 2 of this winter adventure. So, the 12-volt heater didn't work because the wires going into the heater in the back here weren't heavy enough to cover the added 180 watts I needed. So we scrapped that idea, and I'm just going with my 110 heater here I got at Walmart. It has 3 settings: 600 watts, 900 watts, and 1600 watts. And it has a thermostat here so I can set it, so it will go off once this area gets to whatever temperature I set, like 68 or 70, whatever. It will shut off, and then my 110 outlet is right here. So I just have to plug it right in, and it works great too. I've already done it, so there's no issues there. So we're all set there. Water leaks, we're all loaded with water again. Got my biking gear, got my hiking gear, and we got our snowboard gear. So, oh, and we have our gold nugget detector. We're taking that with us too. And seeing we're going back out to Arizona and New Mexico. All right. Oh, and then we got the bike up there. Yeah. So, Okay, guys, catch you on the road.